Hello everyone, Recap Legends here. Today I'm going to explain an American monster movie named The Sand. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie starts with some youngsters partying on a beach and a cameraman films everyone as they dance, make out and have fun. So a guy named Mitch asks everyone to put their phones in a bag, so no one can take pictures of the wild night and put them on the internet. Then, two guys, named Vance and Gilbert, bring a ball of creepy substance, claiming that they found it on the bank of the beach. Everyone is disgusted, but they do not think much of it. After this, the scene shifts to the next morning where everyone has fallen asleep. A girl named Kaylee is with Mitch, while four of their friends, named Chanda, Jonah, Ronnie, and Vance, are in a car nearby. Kaylee wakes up first and starts to see the beauty of the beach. Suddenly she sees a bird on the beach, who was struggling to fly. For a while, she assumes that bird may be stuck, but all of a sudden, the bird sinks into the sand. On seeing this, Kaylee became shocked and tries to warn everyone not to step on the sand. But when she turns around, she sees her other friend Marcia, who was lying naked on a bench, jump on the sand. Due to this, her feet get stuck in the sand, and she became unable to walk. Seeing this, everyone becomes shocked, and on seeing the situation of Marcia, Vance runs toward her to save Mancha. Kaylee tries to stop him, but he ignores the words of Kaylee and jumps out of the car. But as his feet touch the surface of the sand, he falls on the sand and gets stuck. By now, Marcia is nowhere to be seen. The sand has swallowed her completely. On the other hand, Vance screams in pain and asks his girlfriend Ronnie to help him. As Vance tries to lift his head, his skin and eye being pulled out of his head, and in no time Vance was absorbed by the sand, and no one present there can understand what is happening there. By now these people are very scared, after which Mitch tries to make them all believe that Vance may be dead, but all is well and will get out of here. After this he asks Jonah to start the car, but even after a lot of effort here the car does not start, and when they try to call someone, they realize their phones are in the trunk of the car, which means all were completely stuck on the beach. Then, Kaylee goes near the deck and hovers her hand over the sand, and we see white strings trying to reach her palm from under the sand. Mitch is surprised to see it too. Just then, another one of their friends named Gilbert, who was stuck inside a garbage can, wakes up and tries to escape from that cane. Seeing this, all his friends warns him not to move. Gilbert is confused but obliges when he hears that Marcia and Vance are dead. A few hours pass, but no one comes looking for them. Kaylee finds a sunscreen and passes it to those who were outside. Gilbert is on the verge of passing out because of the heat. Kaylee then starts to think about how this could have happened. Just then, Kaylee notices the creepy substance, which was found by Gilbert near the water, and sees that it has hatched. They figured out that it was an egg of some kind of creature that lives under the sand, and it has been eating people as its food. Since that creature was just born yesterday, it must be small in size and have a shape. Kaylee devises a plan to figure out how large the creature is. She gets hot dogs and starts throwing them around the beach to see how big the creature is. The others retaliate against throwing hot dogs around, claiming that it is their only source of food, but Kaylee doesn't stop and throws all hot dogs. As a result, the last hot dog doesn't get sucked in, and all of them start to celebrate on seeing there might be a way out, but they still have no way to reach that far in the sand. Jonah then gets in the back of their car and picks up two surfboards and starts to move from there. He keeps one on the sand and jumps on top of it. Everyone is delighted when he doesn't sink, and Jonah then makes his way to a bench nearby. Just when he is about to reach the table, the surfboard starts to slip. Although he tries hard to recover, then some dangerous strings start coming out of the sand and attack on his stomach, but he doesn't give up and somehow, he manages to save himself and gets on the table. But at the same time, his eyes fall on his stomach, which was badly injured. Everyone else gets very scared seeing this. Then he finds a bag, full of food supplies on the bench. He accidentally drops a banana on the ground, but it doesn't sink. Then Jonah hovers his hands over the ground and figures out that the banana fell on the part where they lit the bonfire last night, so the creature cannot come out through fire or ash. When he stands, we see the wounds in his stomach get worse and pus starting to come out of it. He starts to freak out, and Kaylee calms him down and encourages him to pass that bag. He passes sodas and water that he found in the bag to everyone while still whimpering in pain. His wounds get worse by the second. Jonah then tries passing a can to Mitch, but the blister of his stomach starts to break and he cries in pain and lies down on the bench. On the other hand, The surfboards on the ground are still moving, suggesting that the creature is growing and developing. Then Kaylee notices the strings, which were coming out from the sand, trying to absorb into the car's tires. Seeing this, she assumes that they do not have much time, and before the creature develops big enough to swallow the whole car they must have to escape from here. Then they all remember their mobile, which is kept in the trunk of the car. For this, they have to go down to get him. But those people try to open the trunk somehow, but she fails with it. Chanda and Ronnie try getting the phones from the trunk. Ronnie offers to get on top of the hood and try to open it. She asks Chanda to give the letter she has written in a diary to her mother in case she dies, and steps into the hood. She is about to open it, but Kaylee stops her, saying that the trunk will open wide and make her fall into the sand. Then Kaylee gives them a rescue hook, so Ronnie can hold onto it, and she finally manages to open the trunk. Just then, a car drives to the beach and honks at the group. This startles Ronnie. She accidentally closes the trunk again. Due to this, her fingers get stuck on it, making her cry in pain. Mitch and Kaylee yell at the car to help them. Inside the car is a beach patrol officer. He assumes that the group is on drugs and doesn't take them seriously. Despite Kaylee yelling at him to stay inside his car, the man steps out of it. All are surprised to see, when he walks freely on the beach. A close-up of his feet shows us that the strings cannot attach to his shoes. The officer goes near Jonah and is disgusted by his wounds. He completely ignores his pleas to help him, still assuming that the group is on drugs. He goes to talk to Kaylee and insults her and Mitch for being reckless teenagers. He asks Kaylee to step out and gets angry when she disagrees. He threatens to use his pepper spray on them, but when he reaches to get it, he accidentally drops his keys on the sand. After this, that officer tries to pick up his key, but as soon as he touches the sand, he became stuck in the sand. Then the officer finally understands that the group wasn't lying, but cannot do anything now. Kaylee advises him to use the pepper spray on the strings that are catching him. The spray works, and he manages to free his hand, but half of his arm is gone. He screams in pain, and the strings pull him down again. After he is completely sucked into the sand, Kaylee gets the pepper spray that he had dropped. Now, Mitch plans to use sandals and towels wrapped on his feet to run through the sand and get to the officer's car. He believes since the officer's shoes resisted the creature, the sandals would too. Chanda throws the towel at Mitch, but the railing breaks when he tries to catch it. Mitch falls onto the sand and is brutally eaten by the creature. Kaylee has had enough of the creature. She sees the fallen railing moving on the ground and gets an idea. She breaks a part of the railing again and hands it to Chanda, planning to use it as a bridge later. She then gets on the deck and manages to jump on the car. As soon as she lands, Kaylee punches Chanda in the face for sleeping with her boyfriend. Chanda doesn't mind, and then both help Ronnie to get her fingers out of the trunk. Jonah, who has been on the bench the whole time, tells Kaylee that he loves her. Kaylee then tells them of her plan. She wants to use the railing as a bridge to get to Jonah and then bring everyone to the officer's car. Chanda gets the railing and places it on the sand. She walks carefully and manages to reach Jonah. Kaylee does the same. The three are safely at the bench, but when Ronnie walks towards them, the strings latch onto her injured hand, making her fall. Kaylee tries saving her with the help of pepper spray, but it only works for a second. The creature grabs Ronnie into the sand. Chanda then wraps her feet with a towel and a bag and runs to the car. She successfully gets on its hood before the strings can catch her. Gilbert cheers to celebrate, but not long after, his bin starts shaking. His body is cut by the edge of the trash can and the blood attracts the creature. The girls ask him to hold on, but the creature has gotten inside the bin and is grabbing onto his legs. Gilbert starts vomiting blood. Soon, several large pairs of limbs grab him and drag him to the ground. The limbs then shake the car and make Chanda fall on the hood. She falls unconscious as Kaylee yells at her to wake up. Several hours pass, and now it is nighttime. Chanda finally regains consciousness. Kaylee is still on the bench with an injured Jonah. Chanda discovers a raft on the top of the officer's car and uses it to get to the bench. The three successfully get to the raft and to the vehicle. Chanda and Jonah are inside the car, but before Kaylee can come in, a massive glowing tentacle attacks her. The creature has grown to its full potential now. Kaylee gets on top of the car, where she finds a gas cane. She uses it to light the tentacle on fire and gets inside the car. Everything goes silent as Kaylee and Chanda realize that Jonah has died from his injuries. The girls hug each other and cry, mourning the loss of their friends. It is now the following morning, a man knocks on the car's windows, waking the girls. They see that the monster is gone now, and they can walk on the sand. The two walk across the sand together, traumatized, as the man calls for an ambulance. In a closing shot, the creature revealed as an enormous jellyfish, is seen in the water. From this scene, the movie ends at this point. Thank you. Please like and subscribe to my channel, if you like my explanation. See you in the next video. Take care.